with tomorrow's news today. This is Headlines with a Voice.
Yeah. The car. All right.
Well, hello and welcome to the Lockhart Radio Podcast. I am your host, Felicia Lockhart, and today we're looking at used, lied to, and then cut loose. I don't know about you, but it doesn't feel good when that happens and you are ghosted in a relationship. And it doesn't feel good when this happens after you have done everything that you could do to support a candidate that states what they believe is in alignment with what you believe. And don't you know that right now people feel this way? They feel that way right now today. Why? Boy, what a difference a week makes, right? So many things are going on, and we're going to get right into it today because I want to look specifically at the firing and the history of one Maureen Comey. Yeah, that's what I want to do. They got your vote, they got your loyalty, and then they threw you out with the trash. This isn't politics as usual now. This is a story of how the system has literally turned on its own people. I don't know whether you guys saw Mr. Trump's post on Truth Social, but it's a unique little deal right there, right? Okay, it's unique. You know, in 2016, when Trump entered the scene, promising to drain the swamp and expose corruption and stand with the people that really felt ignored, and I was one of those people. I felt like, you know what, gee whiz, is anybody going to fix anything? And again, my mindset at that time was, we need a new leadership. We need a new president. We need this to go the right direction. And I want to tell you that in 2016, I lost a lot of friends, a lot of people, because I was really, really ramping it up, making sure that I let everybody know all the facts and all of the published information and some secretive information at that time with my foolishness about the other candidate. Little did I know that at that time, everybody was, pretty much hanging out together. Now, at that time, he had a very tight-knit, deeply loyal, and ready-to-believe base. For many, it was their first real hope in politics. It honestly was, because we had seen so much. So the real story begins because it was started. That's how it really begins. It was started as unity. And then, of course, it ends with that amazing post that he put up yesterday in abandonment. So let's look at the importance and why he would release somebody like this. And I think that this will be the first of a couple of breakdowns, because I don't think she's going to be the first person of this magnitude whose head is going to roll. I truly believe that if Bongino lasts another day, I'd be amazed. Okay, I'd really be amazed. With that in mind, let's go on ahead and take a look. Let's peer into this. So who is Maureen Comey? Well, Maureen Comey, as you all may know, she is the daughter of the former FBI director, James Comey. And in 2015, but first off, let me just say this chick is super bad by herself. If you just look at her accolades and her ability to do what she does, she's super bad. I mean, she could literally be the female James Brown of this time in the in law, you know what I mean? In the whole legal field, because honestly, she is. She's like a little tiger, Bengal tiger. 2015, Maureen Comey joins the Southern District of New York as their federal prosecutor. Her work included huge cases, which is why I'm personally amazed. Her cases were huge. And when you follow her work, you don't see any areas of, fault. You can't say, gee whiz, she messed up there, and there, which I'm sure she did. But the point that I'm making is she really did take down a lot of people with her prosecutorial work. Her work includes major federal cases on corruption, organized crime, financial abuse, and notably, she isn't just hired She wasn't just hired into the swamp. She prosecutes it. Maybe that's part of the problem. All right. In New York, in that whole upper area, whether you're talking about the DMV, whether you're talking about the area that she's in, all of it. That's what she was actually hired to do. Looks like she took her job seriously. But in 2019, she came on the scene dealing with the Epstein situation. So Comey steps into the spotlight really at that moment for those of us who really focused on her work. She joins the team prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein. And after Epstein's, let's say, demise, the focus then shifted over to Maxwell. Moren helped build the case against her. She begins to gain internal recognition, respected, feared, and she was effective. In 2020, when we look at what she did, she had some pretty high stake cases, pretty big. She participated in the Robert Haddon case. You guys remember that case? It was a Columbia University gynecologist who was accused of SA dozens of his female patients over decades. It showed that over decades, long periods of time, he was eventually convicted in federal court. She also prosecuted Natalie Edwards, a former Treasury Department employee who leaked those FinCEN files, if you remember that, sensitive documents that exposed suspicious financial transactions tied to oligarchs, foreign governments, and major banks. Edwards claims that, she was just acting as a whistleblower. Now, we're not going to get into whether or not we agree with what Edwards did. We're simply laying the foundation to understand who Moren is. It was then connected to nearly handling the I don't even know how to say the guy's name. She was connected to the early handling of Nicholas, is it Tortellini? Let's call him Tortellini right now, okay? Tortellini, a former NYPD officer who turned drug dealer, who was in jail with Epstein. So this is like an old roommate or whatever, I guess. He was in jail with Epstein at the time of his death. Tortelloni was facing capital murder charges for unrelated quadruple homicide, but became a central figure of interest because of his proximity to Epstein. You know how they like to put somebody in there that's going to run their mouth if they got something to lose? These cases were politically radioactive, often involving deep institutions, financial corruption, and figures linked to higher conspiracy. We're laying the groundwork to know exactly who Maureen Comey is outside of her father. Now, in 2021, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted. Maureen helped to deliver the closing arguments. Maxwell gets 20 years, and there's a rare victory against elite trafficking. At this point, Maureen Comey is promoted to oversee the SDNY's Violent and Organized Crime Unit. In 2023, the Epstein document battle. The DOJ tries to keep the Epstein-related files sealed to protect the appeal. Maureen involved in these motions, and the court ultimately rejects the DOJ's position. And then there were public calls growing louder for that list. The list. So you've got a lot of ramped up and pent up tension that started to ratchet up in about the latter part of 22 and 2023. Now, Maureen is seen both as a gatekeeper as well as a potential whistleblower in this case. If you consider that, just stop to think about that before we go on to the other stuff that she's done. So is this the reason why she's gone? And she's gone physically from the job, but she's not gagged, is she? Is she able to still talk? I think so. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not coming out of her mouth, everybody has a confidant. Let's move on. Here's a very big thing. And here's the irony in this one, what I'm about to tell you. Ironically, at the end of the Diddy case, and that's what this bullet point is and I'm dealing with for you, I thought that something was fishy. And I can't help but think that the fishiness dealt with Epstein. There's a correlation there. And this is just my personal opinion. I personally feel that there is a correlation. Now, I know that a lot of people just look at Mr. Combs as a rapper, quote unquote rapper, but I don't think people realize how deep this cat's lines run in the swamp. We'll just leave that there, put a pencil there. So in 2024, the Diddy case began. Sean Diddy Combs indicted for trafficking, racketeering, coercion, and the Southern District of New York assembles the 6-person prosecution team, and Moren was the lead. Moren was the lead. Throughout the trial, she delivers brutal and direct courtroom arguments and calls Combs a violent and unremorseful individual. Violent and unremorseful individual. Diddy was acquitted on major counts, but convicted under the Mann Act. So that's not going to end like people think it is. That's huge for a prosecuting attorney. That's huge. We know that we couldn't have gotten him over here on this RICO, but we can definitely get him on this because all of the bullet points point to him this way. All the arrows point that way. May of 2025, and this is what I think the nail in her proverbial coffin came from in part. Okay, in part. On Instagram, there were seashells that were arranged in 8647 with the caption, with the cool shell formation. Now, 86, we already know what that means in slang term, it means eliminate. And then 47 obviously is Trump's number for his year of being the 47th president. Trump allies erupt. The DHS and the Secret Service opens a probe into James Comey, and he deletes the post, denying the meaning. Now, I don't know about you, but I truly and honestly feel like this is a blow to everybody's face. And here's why. Because there's no thought of what can happen tomorrow for this particular president because he doesn't have a tomorrow to worry about. I do believe that there's something that's huge is going to come from up under his hat. You know how Minnie Pearl used to keep that little tag under her hat and it would fall down every now and then? I think there's something big. I think there's a Minnie Pearl tag under his hat. Yeah, I do. So Diddy's, I really do. So July 16th of 2025, Moren Comey is fired. The DOJ fires her under Article 2 with no explanation. And this follows Diddy's case, Epstein file drama, and her father's incident. Conservative figures like Laura Loomer, Lord help her, had publicly pressured AG Pam Bondi to remove her. Critics call it political retaliation. That's not why she's gone. I think that's a piece of maybe what everybody's thinking, but I don't think that's why she's gone. I think this girl knows something, and I don't think that they wanted her to be there to tell it. That don't mean she can't tell it, unless, of course, you know, the normal stuff that happens in Washington, God forbid, would happen, and I don't want that to happen to anybody, but nonetheless, let's move on. On July 16th, the same exact day, Trump breaks his silence, and this is where we come in with our title, Used, Lied to, Then Cut Loose. On Truth Social, Trump calls the Epstein files a flippin' hoax. And he says that supporters are pushing, that the supporters that are pushing for transparency are weaklings. Here's a direct quote for all of you that come over here, Trump's a good guy, and constantly, you know, sending me messages saying, you know, well, you know what, I know you may not vote anymore, but he's still a good guy and he's the best thing that could happen to our country right now. This is what he told y'all. I don't want their support anymore. I don't want their support anymore. So then all of a sudden, everybody's up in an uproar. Rah! All the MAGA influencers revolt. Because see, up until that time, you guys really were still making excuses for him. Up until that moment, up until he told you to your face that he don't want you no more, you were still holding the torch for him. Your love affair for him was still embers burning in your heart. That's what was up. You guys really cared about this man. That's the reason why I understand, because I did too. I just told you I lost friends in 2016's election. I lost family members in 2016's election because I so desperately did not want the other person to win. But in this case, everybody was making excuses and moving around those shells in his place. You ever see a shell game where somebody's moving the shells around, the ball is over here, then they move it and it's over there, and then they move it again, and you're trying to find it. Well, he stopped moving the balls and the shells because he knew everybody else was going to do his bidding. So what would happen is every one of his followers would then begin to support him. Even if you saw something this man did that was wrong, people were still supporting him. They were moving the shells in his place for him. If he was standing there and looking like a mummy, they were like, it's okay. We got you, fam. We got you, fam. And they were moving it around. Now the MAGA influencers are having a revolt and they accuse him of backtracking. He was not backtracking. This is who he was. The polls now show a 63% disapproval on how the Epstein matter was handled. But under all of this, there's still going to be a handful of people that support him. This is the weird thing. This is the weird thing. If you juxtapose the statement, I don't want their support anymore, because they're basically not doing my bidding anymore. They're weaklings. They're not, they're not who they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be listening to me and following me and doing as I say and doing as I'm telling them. They're not following my script. Doesn't that put him in a quote unquote God type of mindset? I don't want these followers anymore. You guys have been disobedient to me. I'm going to throw you to the wind. And I got a whole new set over here that will follow me into this way of correction. He has been juxtaposing himself to a God for a minute, and a lot of people haven't seen it. He's doing things that, even though they are corrupt in the way that he's doing it, he could never compare, really, by any stretch of the imagination, to the true and living God. But this guy juxtaposes himself with circumstances, situations, and ideologies that would try to rub real close. All right. Try to rub really, really close. His whole entire base is being scattered. The inner circle is purging its own, eating its own. Moren is a pawn in this game, but I guarantee you she's not going to be the last person. I guarantee you. And again, I would be amazed to see if we find homeboy stand in the game. I believe that Dan Bongino is going to step down. If they don't find a way to fire him, he's going to step down. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to say I'm going to guarantee you. I'm almost sure that there may be an opportunity for him to be running for president, vice president, or something in 2028. You know why? Because of the way that he left last Wednesday before last. When he stormed out of that office and he was like, I'm done. I'm angry. I'm not happy about this. He left. And when he left, he didn't even show up to work on last Friday. He just bounced. Now, I'm not sure if he's back to work right now, but that public show of disapproval is all that base needs to be picked up and have somebody else to hold on to. Because here's one thing for sure. One thing for sure and two things for certain is that this base needs somebody to hold on to. They were holding on like a girlfriend that just couldn't let go. They were holding on like a man that just was stalking the chick. Couldn't let her goodness go. She had some cookies and he just did not want to let them cookies go, baby. They was wonderful. These cookies was wonderful. Okay? They were wonderful. And so because they were wonderful, what they were doing was waiting for a quote unquote savior. Bongino just might be that savior. Do you know why? He had such a huge, he came from the podcast world just like here, right? He came from the podcast world. He was a podcaster. He was also, Secret Service and a few other things, even a cancer survivor. So he's got he really has the human story. I think that, yeah, he just might be up for 2028. He could be, because they love to hold on. They cannot stand on their own. They cannot stand for themselves. They just can't. They have to have a savior. They have to have a king. I hope everybody really sees the way that this thing is playing out. This dude literally kicked people to the curb. Let's see if we can't find that total conversation that he had on Truth Social. All right. Because to me, there's no way there's no, listen, if there's somebody that is still holding on to this man, that's a mess. Yeah, that's a mess. Let me look and see, can I find what he actually said, so that you guys know exactly what this dude means, what you mean to him. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what you mean to him. All righty, let's see. I'm telling you, it's like, just go away. I don't want y'all no more. I don't want none of y'all. I don't know why you guys are hanging around. Don't you know that I'm going to be over here in Israel in the next couple of years, basking in the glow of what I've created? Don't you realize that they gave me a whole entire vineyard? Don't you realize that they gave me an entire coin? Don't you realize that? You don't realize that they gave me an entire coin. You don't realize that they wanted me over there, that I could have left here and become a king or become a leader over there. This dude is going to shock everybody here in a minute. And I feel that if people don't really look at what's going on, they have no clue who he really is. And if you remember, some of you may not, but there was something that I said a while back. And I told you guys that if he came back in, that was going to be that other 3.5 years right there. That was going to be that other 3.5 years, and it was going to be a mess. And that's exactly what you're looking at right now, the other half of the 7. Don't nobody want to hear that, though. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody. Everybody wants to believe that this cat is, he's the one. You would be better off voting for your mechanic, especially one that you've adored for the past several years. You would be better, taking somebody that you can trust. Now, here's some of the blowback. I'm going to read this other thing to you in just a moment, but here's some of the blowback. People, did you guys see Mr. Alex Jones on there crying like a baby? He looked like a cue ball with tears. I cannot believe that. But, there was Alex Jones that was crying. There was this cat here. I don't know about him. Michael Flynn. There's Steve Bannon. There's Laura Loomer. All of these people are furious, and they believe Trump is backtracking on promised transparency. Even Elon Musk has called Trump out, urging him to release the files and point out what's the alleged hoax. That's what he's doing. They're saying, hey, tell us what's up. All right, here's what Trump wrote on Truth Social. President Trump slammed his own supporters who've been demanding transparency on the Epstein files related, and he blasted the movement as part of a Jeffrey Epstein hoax, saying some Republicans had been duped by Democrats. He even called those followers weaklings, stupid, and foolish, telling them, I don't want their support anymore. That's the full thing. For those of you who love him, who want him, who need some more of him, please put that in your pipe and smoke it. Think about this. You do not need a person. You don't. You should probably trust yourself, because it's apparent people like this dude he doesn't have your best interest. So he dismissed the Epstein matter as a Democrat-driven distraction. And he said that Pam Bondi, his AG, handled it very well and would release any credible documents. Yeah. There's a Quinnipiac poll that I just quoted the numbers to. 63% disapprove of his handling of the files. Here's what it means. It means that he is publicly disowning his supporters. And for those women and men who want to hold on to this brother's ankles, good luck, because you're about to get yourself some turf scraping. You're going to feel like you were just drug across the asphalt. He publicly disowned his supporters, calling for more Epstein info. And it's fueling an intra-party schism, weakening the usual MAGA unit, Magi. The credibility hit, you guys, even within the conservative camp. There's people that are out here just calling out his inconsistency. And he's shifting his tone one day at a time. One day he's pushing for the document to be released. The next day he's slamming the pushers, raising suspicion about whether it's real or not. And he knows that it is. I don't know what's up. I ain't seen his daughter or his son-in-law, the smooth-haired cat kid. I haven't seen him in a minute. Where are they? Do you see there's a big difference with this whole Trump regime? This whole thing. What he said solidifies how this whole Epstein saga is now going to create a new line of quote unquote conservatives. It's like a little grenade that he's just set off. And it also reveals to you that he's controlling. He has this whole controlling narrative that he doesn't want anybody to let go of. He wants to keep reminding you of who he is. These are the sad facts. Even at the cost of loyalty, he doesn't care about the people who were loyal to him at all. So, is this a distraction? Is it damage control that he fired her? Or is it setting the pretext for something bigger? Is it setting the stage for something bigger? That's my question to you. That's my question. The Guardian just put out something earlier today. It says that Trump's FBI should investigate the Jeffrey Epstein hoax as a criminal conspiracy against him. This dude. New York Post says most Americans disapprove of the Trump's handling, of his administration's handling of the Epstein files. Now, people don't realize how old AG Bondi is. Homegirl's 59, almost 60 years old. So she's been around this dude a lot longer than people know it. And she's going to possibly have her job a little bit, but I can't see it happening for long. I think that he, as most Geminis, are going to squeeze her until he can't get no more juice out of her. And then when he's done, he's going to just shake her like a pit bull does and throw her in a corner. That's what I think. But I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I could be wrong. You guys go over and check out the political case. Look at that article. We're not allowed to read the articles anymore and give them to you this way. So what I have to do is what I've done today, and that is write everything that I've got to tell you as it relates to the stuff that I've read, as opposed to me taking the stuff that I've read, putting it in my own words and giving it back to you. I don't want it to sound like their words. So in this case, because of the new wonderful guidelines they have out here in this world right now, starting on the 15th, I'm making sure that you guys are getting. So that's let me tell you something. So that's the reason why your last few videos have not been as, and I can't say polished, but they're not like headlines. Because see, on the Lockhart perspective, the original Lockhart perspective, the way you guys have been getting the videos, just me talking like this right here, that's me. I was really honestly trying to pay homage to the channel and the people who were still here, because this is what you were used to, and you weren't over on my original channel. So y'all don't really know me like you know me, but the people who know me, that love me, they know me from over yonder, right? This is me, and that was me too. But like most of us, we got our different sides. Some of us go to work and we know we can't cut up like we do in the backyard barbecue at the job. So this over here was the job. Over there on my channel, that's the backyard barbecue. But guess what? Now that both channels have merged and they are one channel, you're going to get backyard baby all the time. It's going to be me, sweetheart, me, backyard barbecue all day. What you want? What you want? Some collard greens or corn? What you want? But Listen, everybody, this whole thing that I'm trying to get you guys to do is to go over and check out the AP News. There's also the Times, why MAGA won't let Trump ignore his Epstein problem. Okay, let me tell you why. Because people don't like being lied to, especially those of us who are conservative individuals. We're not the type of people who are just here today, gone tomorrow. All right? We're not. And now that he is, starting to scatter his base, that means he does not care. And he doesn't want that exact same base for the next Republican that runs. Dan Bongino. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. They're like a circle eating its tail. They're like everybody in his inner circle, all of them. They're just like this little inner circle, and the face of the snake is going around in a circle, and it's eating its own tail. It's about to eat itself. So she wasn't, as far as Moren Comey is concerned, that lady was not removed because she failed. She was removed for her knowledge. And the reason why Article 2 is being used as a broom to sweep her away is because they can. They can use Article 2. They can. They don't have to have a reason. Okay, they don't have to have a reason. They just don't. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys a little something. Yeah. All right. So when you're dealing with the whole idea of Article 2, it's being used as a broom to sweep away the inconvenient people. The Constitution grants the president, in this case, broad authority over the executive branch, including the power to appoint and remove federal officials. It's a foundational power intended to ensure that the executive remains effective and accountable. But in recent years, and particularly this year, that authority has been repurposed, not to enforce justice, but to eliminate obstacles. So in the case of Moren Comey, Article 2 wasn't used because she broke protocol or failed in court. It was used, honey, because she knew too much. She touched too many sensitive cases, and she was involved in prosecuting men too powerful to fall. People too powerful to fall. Epstein, Maxwell, Combs, financial whistleblowers, political insiders. So Article 2 became a convenient broom to sweep her away, to sweep away a prosecutor who was no longer useful in their eyes, or worse, who had become a liability. No explanation, no public hearing, no press conference, just silence, quiet. So this isn't about a simple reassignment, moving her or putting her someplace else. This is about the executive power being weaponized, in my opinion, to clean house. The very mechanism that's meant to protect the office is now being used to erase the inconvenience. And the message is loud and clear. If you speak too clearly, you prosecute too deeply, you just might have Article 2 waiting for you. So this chick didn't have a problem because she didn't know what she was doing. She was too darn good at her job. Okay? I'm sure there's been somebody out there in this world that, can equate to that or can relate to that you were just too darn good. You were just too darn good for the job. So they had to do something because you were going to show up the boss, or you were going to tell the secrets. You were going to tell the secrets. So you had to go. You had to go. Okay? She just had to go. All right, folks, hold on just a second. We're going to go to a little commercial break right here. And then when we come back, we're going to go to the second half. Hey everyone, it's me, Felicia, of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. I want to tell you a little secret. This is what I used to do because I don't do it anymore. I would go to the store, buy the barbecue sauce, pour it inside of a bowl, put a whole bunch of different spices, a dash of brown sugar, a dash of maple, and a dash of mustard, stir it all around, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best, this is the best. But I was exhausted after all of that, and a lot of times I couldn't remember how many dashes of what I put in it. But I don't have to do that anymore because now I just go to Judge Joe Brown's website and I order his 3-pack of bottled barbecue sauce. It is by far the best, and I do mean the best barbecue sauce I've ever eaten. And when you go to his website and you order his 3-pack, you'll see exactly what I mean. Head on over to jjbbbbq.com and order Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. You'll be glad you did, and you're going to tell me about it. I know you will. All right, folks, thank you so very much. There's a few people who sent me a message or two, and they were telling me about the fact that they have purchased some of that delicious barbecue sauce. I have as well. It's time for me to reorder, but you can also get that over there on Amazon. Did you know that? Yeah, you can get it on Amazon if that's something you like to do. So good old Moren just hammered the prosecution. That's all. She was just using concrete evidence and victim's testimony. She knew what the heck she was doing. All right. She had the financial proof. She had documented behavioral patterns in Maxwell's situation, especially. That's what she did when she came in. She came in just hammering information and only dealing with topics. This is one thing I have to say about this lady as a prosecutor. She is laser focused. In my opinion, she could have been the Pam Bondi, right? But they don't, I guess they don't want that. I guess they don't. Maybe he owed Pam something. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Don't be quiet in the chat. Talk to me. As I sip my coffee. So yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments here. And then let's see if we got a few comments that we can put up. I want to say hello to all my mods as we are here. Yes, Annie, I hope so as well. Yeah, I hope so as well. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just one of these things that when you see the situation, you already can pretty much navigate through this, wade through all of it and figure out exactly what's going to happen. I personally do feel as if we're going to have a couple of people that they're going to pit against each other to run against one another. Now, I know that there's also been a story or two, a situation or two dealing with the, what is the guy's name? What is that? Oh, Patel. Ooh. There's some Cash Patel information. Now, this guy has those believe me eyes. There's some information about him just recently, too. And I just want to tell you something. It's going to be some stuff. It's going to be some stuff. This whole, I'm not sure if this guy just went into office and put all these different people into place just so that he could do what he needed to do. All right. I don't know if that's what he did, that he needed to put these people on Front Street. But I need somebody in the chat right now to tell me, letter A, why did he put him in place? And then I want somebody else to also tell me, what do you think the next thing is going to be? I'm going to put on a little bit of music. I'm going to give you guys like 10 seconds. It's not going to be that other music because we can't use any music from Jeopardy. But I do want you guys to tell me a little something. I'm going to give you a little background music, just a little smidge, just a smidge. Let me turn it down real low. Now, you guys, I want to see your comments. Come on now. What do you think is the next thing that's going to happen? Who do you think is the next individual that's going to drop? Who's next? Come on. Come on, you guys. I'm going to give you guys like, 10, 15 seconds? Rage is here. Oh, great. Rage is here. President J.D. Vance, DJT, bigger and better things. I like it. That's what you think? Okay. Yeah, I tell you, Carrie, I think I was looking at the same thing. I was like, yo, this cat reminds me of some people back in the day. Okay. What are you waiting for to happen, Michael? Okay. What are you waiting for? All right. So we see. So does anybody sort of feel like I do that we're going to possibly see Dan Bongino running for president here in the near future? Or do you even think there's going to be a situation where we'll have a strong Republican Party in the future? Because all of them's been trashed, no matter how you want to look at it. Sarah. You mean look into, really look into, not at or look into. Okay, look into. I'm not sure if any of you guys see there on the screen, there is a way that you guys can help support the channel. We have right now on the screen, you guys will see there is a goal that we have. And we have a goal today for 15 super chats. So no matter if you're watching in the after show, if you want to hit it, you can hit it. You'll support the channel. And let me tell you what you're doing when you support the channel. You're ensuring that you see me all the time. So I'm not running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. Talking about I'm late for a very important date. You guys help. So that's how you help. You help also by hitting that like button, because when you hit the like button, even if you don't have a coin to share, you at least are able to keep it going into the algorithm. And a lot of people are able to see it. Even now, they're able to see it now. They're also able to see it in the after show, which is also a good thing because people like to just come in. If they can watch it in increments, that's good too. But the way that you help here is you help us by getting the new camera that we need, all right, for the show. That's one of the things that are on the agenda right now. The new green screen for the back of from where I sit, a new green screen so that you guys will be able to see other things other than just my mug when we get the new camera. So there are several things that are that we're in need of to help keeping the show going on, which is an awesome thing. And I appreciate even when you guys give a buck, I appreciate it. But let me tell you another way that you guys can help. Here is how you can help. There are several videos right now inside of the membership tab. Several videos, and they're just sitting there waiting for you to become a member at $2.99 a month. So that way, all you got to do is click it and watch them. They're being added as we speak. We'll have 3 more added today, and you will be able to see those as well. So there's some things that you're not going to see on Headlines with a Voice in that membership tab. As we close down the Lockhart Perspective and merge it over here to Lockhart Perspective, you'll see a lot of those things that you may not have seen before over there that will be in the membership tab. There's over 700 videos on the Lockhart Perspective, and we cannot take them and keep them all. But what we've done is Jeremiah and I have actually gone through and we've chosen some of the best ones. And we're adding those into membership only. Why? Because I feel like if you know me, then you'll understand my thought process and the way that I flow. And so that's the reason why a lot of those are there now. It's not to say that there aren't some others that have nothing to do with me personally, which the majority, as you'll see as time goes on, will have. But one thing I want you to know is who you labor with. You have to know those that labor among you. That way you understand why I think the way that I think, why I talk the way that I talk, why I believe the things that I believe, because as we grow in our lives, there should be some changes. And as you can see by looking at some of those videos over there, there are lots of changes. I want to thank all of my mods, and I want to thank every single person for coming over and hanging out with us today. I have so much more that I want to talk about with you guys as it relates to this topic. So if we do reach our goal today, we can come back on Saturday morning and we will have a full-on discussion, and hopefully we'll have the camera up and working so that way everybody, maybe we can, I can be seen, and that'll help as well. So I tell you guys right now, we have some people who do help and who care about the channel, and I want to tell them publicly how much I love them. There's one person in the chat right now. Actually, there are 2 people in the chat right now, and then there are people who I can't say their names because they asked me not to, but I will tell you they're very helpful. And they are part of the reason why I'm here right now. So I appreciate that. Rage Against the Machine, my Huntsville, my Alabama brother. How are you doing today, Rage? How's it going? How's it going? Well, I want you guys to remember something. That when you're looking at these stories and you're looking at the absolute destruction of this whole entire ball that is the Trump ball, here's the thing. There's some stuff that's going on right now in California that pales in comparison to this. And I did a very deep dive on that information last night. I will be bringing that to you. I have to bring it to you. I would be remiss as a journalist if I didn't. I would be remiss in my duties, as a journalist if I didn't. I would like to get, which I know I won't be able to, because as I did some digging in this lady's life, there's no life to dig into. She's just an ambiguous figure, but nonetheless, I want to talk about it. And I want to look at this new AB, I believe it's 459 out of California. That is an absolute nightmare. I don't want to do it on this stream. I want to keep this stream about this, because you know me, I'll be flipping over there and going over there and looking at it. But the truth about it, yeah, Daryl, if you can remove any of that for me, that'd be awesome. If you see it and you need to remove it, please go ahead and remove it, because you know we just can't have it. Oh, we can't have it. So yeah, if you see it, just go ahead and just remove it. But yeah, so I do want to take a deep look at that AB 459, and thank you to Betty R for sending that to me, because once I started to dig, it made my head just begin to ache. It really made my head ache. I could not believe what I was seeing, you guys. I couldn't believe it. You did it. Thank you, sir. I just came back on this side and saw that, so I appreciate you. And thank you, Annie, even for participating in the chat. We appreciate you. But one thing I'll tell you, I love all of you, but my mods are top notch. There's some bad cats. Okay, I got some of the roughest. I mean, you know, let me tell you guys something a little personal about me. Annie, I appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show today, Annie. But let me tell you guys something. Annie says, bless you and bless you too, princess. I appreciate you. Listen, you guys, let me tell you a little something. I like educated or how do you call them? Is it educated, or would I say I like educated thugs? Not I like a dude who got some know about him. You know what I'm saying? Who knows his stuff. Educated, you know, he's rocking a bachelor's, and even if he's not rocking a bachelor's, he's got a whole lot of knowledge and information. And the dude is just bad. You know what I mean? He quick with it. He got all the knowledge and information that he needs to deal eloquently in any situation or circumstance. But then when he needs to be a little bit sharper with hey now, I like that. And that's who my mods are. And chicks too. Please believe it. I mean, you know, William ain't no joke. I got Michael ain't no joke. Daryl ain't no joke. All of them, they're no joke. And I love that about them. They're so well versed. They're very well versed individuals. And I love that about them. I really do. So I appreciate all my mods. I appreciate where I don't think we have. No. Oh, Sandy's in here. There she go. Sandy's in here. Child, please don't mess with Sandy. The other day when we had a guest, he messed with her, and that was all she wrote. So that sent the bells ringing. But nonetheless, we're not going to have any more guests that are not doing going into this next session here with us, switching everything over to Lockhart Perspective, formerly Headlines with a Voice. What you're going to see is a lot more actual real interviews. So I've got some feelers going out, trying to find out what people's honorariums are. For certain individuals, they have honorariums where you have to, you know, give them a blessing, because they're not just going to come hang out with me for an hour for nothing, you know. So we have those types of things that we're setting up right now. And I'm excited about it, because I'm excited to see that we are having this excitement about wanting to come and sit down and talk one-on-one with me. That I think is really a blessing. That's a blessing. I feel very, I don't want to say honored, but humbled. I feel humbled by the folks that have desired to come and to sit down with us. So you know, I'm excited about that. But here's the thing. We are going to allow you guys to please remember the community tab before we leave. I want you guys to remember the community tab. It is something new that's here at YouTube, and I want them to keep it. So I want you guys to use it. Here's why. The community tab allows you to let me know what's going on in your life. It allows you to let the rest of our subs and our laborers together here to know exactly what's going on in your life. There on the community tab, You can upload pictures, you can upload conversations, you can upload things to the community tab that you did not have the opportunity to upload before. Please head over to the community tab if there's anything that you'd like to share, anything that you'd like to discuss or talk about, and let your voice be heard there. I don't want this to be a monologue. I want it to be a conversation. And that's the reason why sometimes you'll see me break away from a very tense story like this and just to have a conversation with you. Okay, that's why. Because sometimes when you get very deep into this stuff, especially if you know the truth about it and you can't say what you know in public forum, it gets you a little frustrated. And that's the reason why I want you guys to make sure that you're going to the community tab, because the community tab is literally for you. And I'm excited to see the things that you guys are going to share there. I'm so excited to see everybody's interaction with one another. I have a what is that thing? My grandson set it up for me a long while back, but it's one of those things where you can go in and you can talk. I don't even remember the name of it, but it's a server of sorts. And so with the server, we can go in and we can, talk to each other, but I don't know. I probably have to have a mod man that, or my grandson or somebody man it, because I don't know enough about it. But nonetheless, there are also a lot of different opportunities for us to hang out with each other. And that's really what you want. You want to be able to hang out and be able to share different thoughts and different things with one another. Okay, so that's one other thing. All right. What else did I have for you guys today before we get up out of here? Oh, yes. I want you guys to let me know if you appreciate the conversations that we've been having. Let me know if you've watched the last few videos. Do you like that format better? I know I do, because I'm able to be me again, being that we're merging. I'm not beholden to another template, which was an awesome template, but unfortunately we can't use it anymore. So it's fortunately and unfortunately. So please listen to some of the videos that we've just recently done and put out. And you'll notice that it does have some changes to it, but it's just me having a conversation with you, which is really what we want, right? I want you guys to tell me some of the things that you want me to cover. Go to info@FeliciaLockhart.com. Tell me what you want me to cover, or go on ahead to the community tab and put there what you want me to cover. Let's talk. I love the way that Betty R sends me things. She'll send me information on my TikTok page in my IM, and then sometimes she'll send me things to cover, not knowing. I don't even think she knows it. I think she just wants me to know it for information purposes. But she'll also send some things to me via Instagram on my Instagram channel. I do get some people to send me a few things on X every now and again. But I'm a little bit more of a snarky puppy on Instagram. If you go to Instagram, you see I'm a little more snarky. But on X, people do send me stuff there. I guess what I'm trying to let you know is if you would go there, put the ideas down, I'll be able to have them and I'll be able to follow up on them. I have a sheet that we have that I should post that where you guys could download it. I don't know. But anyway, I've got a sheet that when I get ideas, I source them. Then I have to have at least three sources for me to look at, to compare, juxtapose. And of course, now, writing it all together, putting everything together, which may take me a little more time. But so what? If it's going to be cohesive and really good information, we don't care how long it takes. Sometimes things like this right here is going to be an ongoing saga. Why? Because I know that she's not the only person. If they can get rid of somebody as bad and super bad as this chick was, as far as litigation and being on point like she was as a prosecutor, don't you know that they can get rid of anybody, including the doggone janitor? They can get rid of anybody. And so that's what this tells me. That that's where we're headed. So what I think that, thank you so much, Rage. I appreciate you. And then Annie, I see you. That right there is heavy, sis. That's heavy. Yep, it is. Yeah, I know all about that. And you know what? Sometimes you got to be cognizant of what you're trying to share on this side. If I can find a lot of stuff that's public, it may seem redundant. You know what I mean, Annie? I will only deal with things that are public. There's a story that's out right now, and a lot of people are sharing it like it's, I don't know, chiclets or something, or M&Ms, the handy bag. And they're running around just sharing it and talking and telling. And the problem with it is I think that it's a fake story, but it's been circulated so much. I think that they tweak the story or release the story so that they can come back later. This is why I don't necessarily dig on a lot of these types of stories. I think what's going to happen is they're going to tweak it and shove it back into people's faces who are transferring this information. So you have to be careful when you're doing certain things. And I know that was a lot of code just to say that I'm not going to be able to cover that story unless I can find some things that are already public given to us by the federal government that I would feel safe enough to do that. Right. All right. So that's a good one. All right. So, okay, folks, you guys, you got your marching orders. You know what's up. You know that your girl is here with you all full time now. And I need your support, baby. I need you to give me at least $1, $2, 52 cents. And if you can't give me 52 cents or $2 or $1, here's what I would like for you to do. I'd like for you to make sure that you go into your app on your phone, on your computer. Go down to YouTube. Make sure that you have clicked that button so that way you can receive notifications from YouTube. Once you do that, make sure that you click the bell notification on this side, directly under my video, or directly under the person that, another person that you like. Maybe you love Monograph, maybe you love, somebody else. Whoever it is you love, make sure that you go inside of the app on your device, click notifications acceptance for YouTube. Once you do that, go here and make sure that you unclick the bell and then re-click the bell. Why am I asking you this? Because we just got through looking at the analytics for the channel, and we are finding that over 30,000 people are not getting their notifications. And once we did an investigation, we found out why. And it is because they do not have their notifications turned on their app. Do you know how that hurts? That hurts. I mean, it really does, because when you figure some of the I'll give you the prime example of a story I worked on 2 weeks. It's the one where we're talking about Cancer Alley, where we're talking about Louisiana's Cancer Alley and California's chemical, problem, where Bettina was and passed away, where my mother was and passed away, where my stepmom was and was living in Baton Rouge, also in the South Bay area where Bettina and my family lived, and they're all suffering. Bettina passed away. My birth mama passed away. My stepmama is suffering with a breathing illness that they don't even call COPD. They say it's a diseased lung. Well, she lived in Baton Rouge, and that's where the Cancer Alley ran. It runs from there all the way up through New Orleans. And then she lived in California, right in that same area. So she had it double time. Thank goodness she's still with us, right? Bettina and my birth mother are not, and they grew up right there. They were living right there in that area. Here is my point. That story took me 2 weeks to pull it together. And you've no idea how much information we still have not even given you from just that little bitty, bundle of information that we did. But that was the first in a series of Toxic America, right? Okay, what am I saying that for? Because once you see all of the information that goes into doing a story, then you may appreciate and understand why I'm saying, hey, if you can give $2, give $2. You can give 52 cents, give 52 cents. If you can't, make sure that you go inside of your app and hit the notifications so that if you can get a word in, you can tell somebody else, hey, follow this channel. And I'm asking you guys this time. Normally, I don't. I may mention it in passing sometimes, but normally I don't. So here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to thank our sponsor again, Miss Annie. She has covered a lot of y'all. Hallelujah. Thank you, sister. We do appreciate you. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. We appreciate you. That's so nice. That's $22. Yeah. $22. And that's nothing to sneeze at. And we appreciate you. We really do. Thank you so much for that super sticker, Annie. We'll try to see what we can find. If we can find anything, Sandy and myself, or even Jeremiah, if we can find anything dealing with that, that's public from, and it has to be, for me, it has to be on the government's websites, because I'm not going to take any information that's just from someplace else. You know what I'm saying, Annie? I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys viable and tangible information, which is the reason why, if it's not coming directly from a governmental website, I have to have at least 3 articles to substantiate whatever it is that I'm saying. What I read for you guys today that I had to put together and compile together, believe it or not, was like about 12 different articles just for me to form my own opinion of it and be able to share it with you intelligently. So it takes a little bit more than it does when you're running a channel that's like one of those, one of those channels that you can pay somebody like Fiverr or whatever. You can pay them and you can give them X, Y, or Z. I have a couple of videos that I had to pay for on Fiverr for one of the other channels. And I can show you that right now because I own it. So I'm going to show you that right this second so that you guys can see what my example is. Please don't leave me when I say that. People are like, oh man, she ain't going to talk no more. Now she's going to go show us something else. Yeah, I am. Because I want you guys to see if we got it over here. Yeah. All right. This is one of the videos that I have. Okay. I want you to see that. All right. I want you to see that. I appreciate you guys so much. All right. So here it is. Here's one of the videos that we have, and I'm going to go on ahead and show you this video. This channel was started, and it's a tiny channel. I mean, it's like a baby channel. It really is a baby. But I want to show you guys what's good. So let me come back over here and share it with you all. Share a screen right there. All right. So yes, I have used other companies to help me do work on occasion. Can't do it over here because I have to pump out so much work. But these are the kinds of things that donations in the past couple of months, not necessarily this one, but in the past couple of months, because we have a car channel too. I'm cracking up laughing because I literally have a car channel, and I said to myself, I can't afford it because I would have to keep sending stuff out to Fiverr. So I do have a very nice video. I've got everything that I need for the car channel, because you guys that know me know that I love cars. I love cars. Everybody that knows me knows I love Mopar, and I love the rumble of a Dodge. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, I got a car channel, and so I was setting up some stuff over there for them, and I was like, man, I can't afford this. So I had to knock it off, I say. So let me go ahead and give you guys this video so that you can see one of the other channels and some of the work that I've had to pay to have sent out. So hold up just a second. Let me come back on your side and let you guys see it. Let me move this screen out the way so you can see. You can see me. I'm changing. See me. All right, here you go. This is one of my other channels. Let's let it roll.
The moment I loved our Subaru Outback most
Thank goodness.
was the moment they walked away from it.
Subaru, more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus Award.
Untamed landscapes of the Naga Hills.
Let me go back this way so you guys can
The
hear it.
Naga people, an ancient, resilient community from the northeastern part of India and northwest Myanmar, are shrouded in mystery and rich history. Theirs is a story that dates back thousands of years, filled with culture, traditions, and a spirit of independence. The origins of the Naga tribes are rooted in myth and migration. Oral traditions speak of a time when these people migrated from Southeast Asia, establishing a unique cultural identity in the dense, untamed landscapes of the Naga Hills. Their early life revolved around agriculture, hunting, and a deep connection to the land. Perhaps the most defining aspect of the Naga people is their culture. Traditionally, they were known as fierce warriors, with headhunting being an integral part of their past. But it wasn't just about war. Naga culture thrived on community. Every tribe had its own distinct customs, languages, and artistic expressions, from elaborate wooden carvings to intricate bedwork. When the British arrived in the 19th century, the Naga people's way of life faced unprecedented challenges. Though resistance was fierce, the impact of colonization was undeniable. It led to the formation of new political movements and struggles for independence, which carry echoes into the present day. Today, the Naga people are a blend of their proud heritage and modern influences. While they've retained many of their traditions, including their world-famous Hornbill Festival, they also strive to find their place in an ever-changing world. Notable people from the Naga community who have made significant contributions in various fields. Highlighting them can help bridge the tribe's rich history with contemporary achievements. Here are some examples. Number 1. Rani Gaidinliu, 1915 to 1993. Rani Gaidinliu was a Naga spiritual and political leader who led a revolt against British rule in India. She started her resistance at the age of 13, following the teachings of the religious leader Jael. After his execution by the British, she led the Haraka movement, aimed at reviving Naga traditions while also fighting for independence. She spent 14 years in British prisons and was honored by the Indian government with the Padma Bhushan for her contributions. Her story is an inspirational example of indigenous resistance and leadership, making her a figure of pride for the Naga people and beyond. Number 2. Nephew Rio. Nephew Rio is a prominent politician from Nagaland and has served multiple terms as the Chief Minister of Nagaland, representing the Naga People's Front, NPF. His political career has been significant in advancing the Naga people's cause within the larger Indian political system, working toward peace and development in Nagaland. Rio is a key figure in contemporary Naga politics and is actively involved in the ongoing negotiations regarding the Naga peace process, making him a current and relevant leader. Number 3. Alem Jongshi. Alem Jongshi is an internationally renowned Naga visual artist. His work often reflects the Naga culture, blending traditional symbols with modern forms of expression. His art has been exhibited globally, bringing greater attention to the Naga heritage through visual mediums. He bridges traditional Naga culture with contemporary global art, making him an important figure in preserving and promoting Naga identity on the international stage. Number 4. Temsula Ao, 1945 to 2022. Temsula Ao was a respected poet, short story writer, and academic from the Ao Naga tribe. Her works often reflect on Naga life, culture, and the consequences of conflict in the region. She received the Sahitya Akademi Award for her book of short stories titled Laburnum for My Head in 2013, and was also awarded the Padma Shri in 2007 for her contributions to literature and education. Temsula Ao's literary contributions provide a deep and thoughtful reflection on Naga history and identity, helping to give a voice to the experiences of her people in contemporary literature. Number 5. Dr. Vizir Sani. Dr. Vizir Sani is a well-known Naga scholar, peace activist, and former president of the Naga People's Movement for Human Rights. He has dedicated his life to advocating for peace in the region and has played a significant role in global discussions about indigenous rights. His role as a global advocate for indigenous and human rights ties the Naga people's local struggles to wider international efforts for justice and peace. The Naga people's history is one of strength, identity, and resilience. From the mysteries of their origins to the vibrant culture we see today, their story continues to unfold, captivating the world. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Nagaland. If you enjoyed discovering more about our world, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this story with others. Together, we can keep exploring and celebrating the amazing cultures, landscapes, and people that make our world so special. See you in the next story.
All right, so that is my other channel. I have several. And when you get over to some of my ideas, because I call my channels ideas. When you get over to some of my other ideas, you're going to be like, wow, gee, yeah, I wish that I had it to continuously put them out. So I put the link there so that you guys can see it. And that way you'd be able to follow it and you'll be able to go over there. If I get more people that want to go over there, then I will definitely start to provide more information. I enjoy different cultures throughout the world, right? I enjoy looking at different cultures, and I like looking at it with a clean mind. You know what I mean, you guys? I like looking with my mind just very open to seeing what other people believe in, how they live, how even though some of their countries may seem, poorer than ours, how they literally do better than we do because they don't have nearly the stress that we have. Let that sink in for a second. You find a lot of people who live in different areas that don't have to pay the taxes that they do every time they get a paycheck. I mean, to me, I feel like it's amazing because as we go through life, we start to see that this adulting thing ain't so good. It's like when you're little, you're like 15. I can't wait till I'm grown. Child, bye. To be 15 again, letting my mom and dad pay for everything. Letter A, my birth mother would still be in the picture if I was 15 right now. And my mom and dad would be paying for everything except for the fact that my dad did make us have to be responsible for certain things. Well, that's what happens when you're raising children, if you want them to be, very good adults. But the point that I'm making is I have several channels. So when you have people like Annie who blesses us, when you have people like Sandy Aaron who blesses us, when you have people like, Steve and several other people who bless us, it does help me because I take those funds and I'll turn right around and I'll get an idea and stick a new video on an idea channel. But in order to do those things, it does take funds because I don't have any of the software that these guys do over in India. But then you've got to haggle with them when you're trying to like there's another video that the car video that I did. Oh man, I wish I could show you the car video. I haven't even uploaded it. I haven't even actually crafted the entire channel because after I saw how much it was to make that one car video, which is the top 10, it is the top 10 SUVs of 2026. And once that thing was finished, I said, good night, Irene. So the point that I'm making is I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. And I'm not just idly sitting on my hands, and I'm not just, idly sitting on any of the gifts and the blessings that you guys give. When you guys give, I use it to go back into the Lockhart perspective, and I use it to go back into the Lockhart Media Group. So that way we can keep putting things together, which was the main reason why I had to make a choice between both of these main channels or just consolidating them into one. I feel that by consolidating the channels into one, just Lockhart perspective, letter A, I'm keeping the namesake that my best friend Bettina gave me for my personal channel, and I'm bringing it here. She gave me that name. I love it. We dropped the, and now it is just the @ Lockhart perspective. And I like it because it now frees me up to use the other energy that I have that I was putting forward. Now, what do I do for the Lockhart perspective? Now, what do I do for the Lockhart perspective? These things that I'm doing outside of what we're doing here and the Lockhart perspective are nothing like what we're doing, you know what I'm saying, on the other channels. But it takes what you guys are willing to give for me to do it. And that's why I so appreciate Annie. That's why I'm bringing that comment up to do that. So it does free me up to do the other channels. I don't know if I'm going to do the car channel. I mean, that video just to pull all of those vehicles together, I was like, my God, how do people do this? You know what I'm saying? And now I'm not using any more AI voices. I thought about cloning my voice, but then I was like, but why? Why clone it when this is what you do? If somebody else hires me outside, I'm going to narrate for them. So why use somebody else's voice when, I narrate? So duh, just use your own. And then when I did bring a channel, when I brought a video over here dealing with, I think it was the maritime, a cat said, that's not your voice. That lady don't even sound like you. And I'm like, yikes. I thought I could get away with it, but I guess I couldn't. Okay. So that's the reason why I want to make sure that we are not only visiting things that are going on here in the United States, but visiting things that are going on around the world. As I said earlier, you may find a poor portion of like the Dominican Republic, and then you find that their fruits and vegetables are fresher than whatever you're getting now. You know what I mean? You can go over and look at some old stories from, say, Germany, for example, and you find that some of those communities bake bread every day, and that their bread is fresh, and that the components in that bread are healthier than what we're using here. Sometimes in America, we get a little cloudy, and we think that because we are this upbuilt nation, that we really have it going on. I think a lot of the discoveries that we've been dealing with lately, and a lot of the apocalyptic information, or the revelation or the revealing information that we've been getting about our food system, about medications and things of that nature, does shed some light on the fact that we're not where we thought we were. Here's another tidbit that I do want to say before closing, because it's really important. I feel that America is in for a nice little rude awakening. We've not seen what's coming. I feel that when we are looking at our country and we're looking at what entertains us, really fast TikToks that you can just keep sliding by. I believe that reality that we've given to ourselves can be easily shaken. Because when we look at other countries like Syria, what just happened with Syria just the other day, there's stuff going on every single day now. Stuff is happening overseas with our weapons that we either letter A, supplied somebody to use, or we've sent them directly to use. Same thing, right? Or we've given them funding so that they can purchase them from other people. Those individuals that are dealing with that, and I'm looking specifically right now in my mind's eye at Syria, a once beautiful, upbuilt place now has nothing but rubble, just rubble. But do you know that those people there understand resilience, and that if it were us, God forbid, we would not be able to even handle 1/10 of what they handle on a daily basis? Because if you look at our social media, that's our reality. And it's sad. That is our reality. Our reality is the stuff that social media right now in the States are made up of. And so we couldn't even compare. We couldn't compare. And so that's another reason why I feel it's really shameful for us to talk about the people of other countries that are having issues with people coming from outside and dropping things on them. You can talk about whoever you want to talk about, but if you really don't understand the whole truth behind it, step away from taking the stance of, if a person gets, if this country gets them, then that country gets them. That's what they get. That's what they get. Those are babies. Those are children. Those are mothers. Those are fathers. Those are grandparents, just like you, who get up every day and try to go to work. And these are the things that they're being plagued with. But because you only believe what you see on your social media, you think that what you're seeing is truthful. And that's the shame. That's a shame, because a lot of times we have no clue why we do what we do as a country. But if any of those things, again, God forbid, ever hit over here like that, we'll see what's real. We'll see what's up. We'll see who can really hang and who can't hang. It won't be any of us that's going to be able to really deal with it, because we don't begin to know what others are going through. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging out with us with Used, Lied to, and Then Cut Loose. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Used, lied to, and then cut loose. Okay. All right. All right. I thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out with us. I again want to thank my mods. Super bad, brothers and sisters. Super bad. I want to get me some. I think maybe I'll ask Ronnie for a song that's similar to a James Brown song. I'm super bad. That's what I need for you guys. I need that for the mod squad over here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Don't forget to check out my brother, my friend, my home skillet. Go on, get you some. Go on, get you some. Peace. Hey everyone, it's me, Felicia, of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. I want to tell you a little secret. This is what I used to do, because I don't do it anymore. I would go to the store, buy the barbecue sauce, pour it inside of a bowl, put a whole bunch of different spices, a dash of brown sugar, a dash of maple, and a dash of mustard, stir it all around, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best, this is the best. But I was exhausted after all of that, and a lot of times I couldn't remember how many dashes of what I put in it. But I don't have to do that anymore, because now I just go to Judge Joe Brown's website and I order his 3-pack of bottled barbecue sauce. It is by far the best, and I do mean the best barbecue sauce I've ever eaten. And when you go to his website and you order his 3-pack, you'll see exactly what I mean. Head on over to jjbbbq.com and order Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. You'll be glad you did, and you're going to tell me about it. I know you will.
To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day.